look, I'm gonna tell you something. When I learned accountability, I was literally crying in the mirror. That's how accountability had me. It had me crying, like telling, oh my God, I was like, I was the worst. Accountability, if it ain't making you cry, you're not accepting accountability. The thing is, I'm gonna tell you something. He pandered to you. The guy pandered to you, and you got caught up on everything was good in this man. Every single thing good with this man. I have no doubt in my mind that, he was showing you all the good side. He never saw the other side. To me, those are panderers. And I can't stand them. Them the ones I don't like. I like to see someone. I want to see you, especially during the dating phase. You should see somebody's not really bad side, but you want to see how they maneuver, during some certain times of their lives. It just is what that's called spending time and courting somebody. You know these things about someone. That's why I stand up here or sit up here on these panels and I say most men aren't really, they're not violent like that. Like when some people run to, oh my God, man, no, I've been around some dudes that no, I just disagree with that, because you get to know them. But when we as women don't accept accountability for things that we have done in our lives, then that's why third marriages will have an even higher divorce rate, because we are not accepting accountability. We are absolutely not. And it hurts us to the core. People can call me mean, people can call me whatever they want, but I hold myself accountable for things that I did not done, especially because I was married before. And I can tell you, I was not the best person. That's why I'm divorced now. I should have been divorced. He's been married 20 something years. So, but when I held myself accountable, I was literally in my 40s. And then I'm looking at women, we don't hold ourselves accountable for nothing. That was not even nothing to get mad at this man about, even question him about. I just don't understand that part. So, what I'm gonna land, let y'all go.
Yeah, let me jump in there on this marriage topic one more. Just add a little bit more to what I was really feeling. Um, and it's just this is to the guys because I have a male audience, and I'm always trying to equip them with tools and ways to work around a lot of the bullshit out here. Because whether the women believe it or not, we still want to love on women. We still want to love on the women. We still want to have families. We still want to raise our children. We just don't want. We just want to have the peace, and it's very, very difficult to continue to have the peace while doing it. So, fellas,
I hate beards like that.
I truly believe that if you got a woman who's been rocking with you, uh, carrying your seed and supporting your grind, that's more of a real marriage than most of what we see with these signed contracts. I believe God's recognition of a union is not block it's not locked behind some corrupt monopolized piece of paper. In fact, I believe he's more proud of the unions we build outside of the state than the ones we hand over to it, because tied to that state contract are traps, corruption, uh, and the kind of leverage women can use to threaten your assets and rip your kids away. So if you know the God I know, you know he'd rather see us honoring our commitments without the middleman, without the blackmail, and without handing over control of our households to a system that profits from tearing them apart. You just got to know that. And I also think that more men are able to appreciate this. If more men are able to appreciate this idea, I do know the world will further try to destroy men for finding the workarounds. I know that. I know it's just it's somebody out there that's just going to try to put us back in line. So, um, we have to figure out. I mean, and it's just on me. It might be on me to just continue to push the envelope, because I'm a big influencer, and I think if I continue to do it, I don't mind dying on the sword for the fellas. And I know there's other brothers out here that don't mind it either. And I'll yield.
Okay.
I wanted to respond to some things that Darwin, Miss Pearl, Dr. Lady O said earlier, and a lot of them were similar. So the first thing, you referred to like the current state of how people are behaving as an attack on masculinity and an attack on marriage. Lady O, you said when we were talking about on the first question, you said, and we have traditions and things like that, so you don't change that. Yeah, you say you do not change that in referring to tradition, and that women's liberation movement is to blame and it dishonors men. So I want to address all of those at one time. Basically, the idea of what masculinity is, honestly, it doesn't exist. If you ask a Muslim man what masculinity is for him, it's going to be a different answer than if you ask someone who's who's Christian, or if you ask someone in the West uh, what masculinity is. It's going to be different across the board. The truth is, masculinity is only what you think it is. There's no attack on masculinity. And I think as far as the women liberation movement, there are a lot of misandrists that tend to be a lot louder than people who actually have a political goal in mind, rather than wanting to just spread all different types of hate. Now, the liberation movement actually, oh, and I believe it was you, Wisdom, who said women who believe partnership or some weirdo stuff like that. When, you know, a lot of feminists online are saying things like patriarchy and capitalism is hurting men, and it's being interpreted as hating men, when in actuality, most families are dual income. So when patriarchy tells you that your masculinity is built on whether you can protect and provide for your family, when most men do not make enough money to do such a thing. So that disqualifies him from this idea of masculinity. And I don't believe that it's under attack, but it definitely needs reform. And if you don't want to change, you don't have to. People can get married. No one is putting up blockades. Like, I'm not seeing what the issue is with marriage. To be a good man is just to be a good person. To be a good woman is just to be a good person. Masculinity and femininity, these are all things that honestly we made up. They're not real.
So you don't think that shaping the exit or the transition out of it in a way to where it destroys one side is a way of putting a guardrail in front of it indirectly?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
You don't think that the way the laws are shaped in the event of divorce, you don't think that was intentional? You don't think it was a strategy put in place for that? And you don't think that you don't think the current data that's displayed in event of divorce it works like a deterrent for men that are thinking about getting married? You don't believe that?
Well, I mean, I'm willing to like break it down. Well, what divorce laws? Which ones?
Okay, so
Put men at a disadvantage.
have you looked at any divorce data, or have you do you understand the overall experience for men in general that have to deal with divorce in the United States and America?
That doesn't answer my question.
So I want to just say something really quick. I understand that you've got lots of different ideas about what masculinity is or isn't, or that is fake or false or anything like that. I don't think that men as a group, I don't think young men, I don't think heterosexual men are trying to figure out what masculinity is by listening to women who are liberal feminists. I don't think there is a heterosexual man on the planet that is trying to figure out what liberal feminists think a man is and are using that as a model to be. Men, whether you like it or not, or think they should or not, or you think it should be reformed or not, they have a concept of the types of targets that they are aiming themselves at pertaining to what type of men they want to be. And none of it is based off of what single mothers think, or single women think, or feminists think, or womanists think, or liberal feminists think. None of it. And so when I hear ladies that put together concepts about what they think men should be, women who don't want to have children, or women who don't want to be married, or women who don't value relationships, or women who overwhelmingly, maybe they don't like or won't trust men. I don't know why they waste their breath on it, because I don't think men are listening to that. In my experience talking to younger men, they are not looking to women at all to try to understand masculinity or manhood. And that you've come up with words to act as if it doesn't exist, I don't think that changes anything about what men think they're supposed to be doing, because whether you like it or not, society places expectations on male performance. There is a burden of masculine performance. And women, now, we don't want to be in your friend zone. And so the stuff you say you might like if a guy tries to approach you and be your friend, but women don't want to marry, have sex with, or bear children for guys who are not looking to be competent, productive, and successful in life and can provide and plan for a future. So all the stuff you're saying sounds great, but none of you ladies want to marry the type of men that you're describing. No woman wants to marry a man that's lazier than her. No woman wants to marry a man that doesn't outwork her. No woman wants to marry a man who doesn't feel it is his responsibility to keep her safe and keep their children safe and keep the household safe. So all this stuff that you said, I don't know who it's for. I think it might be for other women who don't like men, or women who don't want marriage, or feminists, or a whole group of people that men aren't really concerned with at all.